Nampak sini. Facebook pun kalau dah boleh.
Sister Sarah. Hi, Sarah.
Nice to meet you,
Sarah.
Nice to meet you. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm glad I made it today.
I thought Sulaiman will be with you today.
Oh, he already finished his
Finishes his
his internship, and he's already back to Indonesia.
Oh, I thought he's still here.
No, he already left.
How was he?
Alhamdulillah, I think he's doing well.
So are you absorbing any intern students there?
Currently, because we're moving our office, so moving to Ampang area.
I see.
So hopefully, after everything is settled, we will be recruiting the interns again.
Okay. So there's an opportunity for him, lah.
Yeah, inshallah.
Okay, please.
Nak ada break tu. Jalan.
Sorry.
Kalau itu
This is the webcam. The webcam will be shows the
Both sides.
you and you both sides.
Okay.
Tayar usik panel ni lah.
baik je.
On mic.
On air tak boleh guna pun kan?
Tak ada pun.
Yes. Boleh terus lah.
Macam mic 1, mic 2, DJ 1. Kena pakai headphone ke? Oh, live? Dah boleh live? Oh, dah boleh live?
In
Kejap ada.
3 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, we're
We also need to wear our headphones, right? Just organize.
Siapa boleh?
Yelah, kau bodoh. Satu je. Kena cantik sikit.
Mana bekas dia?
Bekas dia dalam beg aku.
Baik dekat belakang. Dekat bilik belakang. Sini. FM.
Oh. Yes, tu. Okay.
Mana bekas dia?
Bekas dia dalam beg aku.
Baik dekat belakang. Dekat bilik belakang. Sini. FM.
Oh. Yes, tu.
Okay.
Oh, you left SN. Kena bawa balik.
Yang tadi tu semua kira lagi.
Kena bawa balik.
Kena jalan lah.
Sebab ada N tu boleh.
Dia dah live. Kena buka baru ni lah.
Dah live kan?
Belum, kejap.
Belum.
Itu kena ambil webcam dulu tu ni. Select video source.
Sikit share. Macam ni. Dia kena masuk kena kaitan dengan description dulu. Dengar suara kan?
Ya.
Okay, we have another 3 minutes.
3 minutes. Okay.
Take your time.
Where are you just now?
Yeah.
Where are you from just now? From home?
Center.
Oh.
It's not from there by highway. It's like 9 minutes.
9 minutes from here.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Where is the office of Friends of Palestine?
Now it's in Central,
Beside me.
Central area.
Oh,
My home near
nearby.
their office.
have you met each other before? No.
No, it's my first time meeting Mr. Yahya.
Ah, okay.
I know brother Abdullah.
Brother Abdullah.
Rayyan, the
Oh.
CEO.
Oh, you know Mr. Ryan?
Yeah, of course. He's my friend. We stay in same building.
Okay. That's like my.
Now you are.
Okay, stand by. Okay. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, on your side.
So, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I bid to all the listeners of IIUMFM, your campus radio. So, with you today, I am Siti Sarah binti Omayuha. You can call me Sarah, or you may know me by the name Sarah. So, today, I am joined by two amazing guests from Palestine, technically. So, one is brother Yahya Al-Banna from Palestine, and one is sister Rauda from the Friends of Palestine organization. So, what kind of agenda are we having today? So, actually, we are sitting here in the studio today to discuss a little bit, maybe in depth, about the ongoing situation in Palestine right now. So, what we know, the situation that is going on in Palestine right now is actually very heavy to us, as well as us Malaysians. Even though I'm not one of the, I do not have contacts in Palestine, I also contribute my heartfelt sincerity and prayers to them because of the situation that they are going on right now. So for today, the title that we are going to discuss about is Palestine Unveiled: Story, Struggle, and Solution. So basically, if you guys are ready, may I start with the introduction? So, Sister Rauda, can you please share a bit about your personal background as well as your upbringing?
Of course. My name is Rauda. I'm actually Bosnian, not Palestinian.
Bosnia.
Yes, I'm Bosnian. I have been working with Friends of Palestine for almost a year as their PR and media executive. I already studied mass communication in IIUM. And my upbringing, I grew up in a Muslim family. Where both my parents very much focused on raising us to love Palestine and to know about Palestine. So I remember always listening to stories about Palestine, reading books, stories, and I very much remember as a kid I watched the Intifada in 2002, and I was watching live on TV while the Israeli aggression killed Muhammad al-Durra in Gaza. So I lived and I grew up with these images. In addition to me being Bosnian, I come from people who actually survived genocide. So it's easy for me to identify genocide and point it out. So my solidarity with the Palestinians and my work in Friends of Palestine is beyond being a Muslim. It's being human and feeling sympathy and solidarity because my nation has gone through the same thing that the Palestinians have been going through for 75 years and still.
Yeah, thank you for the in-depth introduction of yourself as well as your background. Now we are moving on to Brother Yahya Al-Banna. Can you please share a bit about your personal background as well as upbringing?
Thank you so much for this meeting and interview together to discuss about what is happening now in the ground in Gaza specifically, and also in West Bank. It's now also the high aggression towards people in West Bank beside Gaza. I am Yahya Hamdan Al-Banna. Alhamdulillah, recently I have finished my master from IIUM and
Alhamdulillah.
I am my first semester in my PhD journey, inshallah, bismillah ta'ala. I am basically from Gaza Strip and my family there. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, they are safety, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. I need to speak about what how I living in Gaza because I have been now. It's like seeing four wars in 2009, 2008, and 2011 and 2021, and that the last one I feel it's the hard one because I am outside Gaza and I am following the news day by day, second by second. It's like no sleeping, no. The, at least the eat when I eat, I feel by my family, and because that there could be hard really and harsh condition they facing. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, of course, my family, they make us to how believe about our rights and to support this issue, and really we believe that inshallah bismillah ta'ala we will take our freedom. Allahumma ameen inshallah bismillah ta'ala. That one.
Thank you so much, Brother Yahya. So from what I know, based on the introduction, Sister Rauda is working with an organization in the PR and media executive field, where else Mr. Yahya Albana is a journalist actually, right?
Yes,
Covering
yeah.
the news about Palestine.
Yeah.
So technically, both of you have the raw perspective, I can say, raw perspective about the news and updates about what's going on in Palestine. So basically, I who is basically far from the news and updates, like the real news and updates that going on in Palestine, also have like felt the burden at my heart. But I want to know, how do you guys feel right now? Like, how do you guys sincerely feel about the situation right now? Because I know that you guys are among those who have direct access to those who are going on the situation at Palestine. So what do you feel, Sister Rhoda?
I don't think that there is words to describe what
of
we are
course.
going through, and of course it's nowhere to be compared with what the Palestinians in Gaza are going through.
Yeah.
It won't be fair to compare. But since the first day of war, at least in our network, the whole team has been 24/7 watching the news and the updates, because one of our roles and goals in Friends of Palestine is actually to be a platform where people, society, and also other media outlets here in Malaysia can take the source and the news from, so they can spread what's happening on the ground instead of going to Reuters or Deutsche Welle or AFP or whatever else Western media agencies they are, because we have seen firsthand how the media has betrayed the Palestinian cause from day one. I think the amount of propaganda, the Israeli lobbying, the anti-Palestinian approach to covering the news is horrible. And I think that nothing will ever make me forget how the whole world stood by Israel for 40 fake beheaded babies, and they did nothing for thousands of Palestinian murdered children.
Wow, that's like actually very, very sad. Because actually in class, because I'm taking communication, right? So of course I heard about lecturers discussing about the media and how they frame the stories about the Palestinian coverage. So actually I felt unfair, but I did not kind of get into detail of what kind of unfairness did they do to Palestinians in terms of media. So can you
specifically could be we studying that from books and from our doctors, but we now see it in the media particularly. So we can speak about the framing and
the framing
and the agenda setting. Mean that today the Palestinian, the children and the women and the civilians, they doesn't allow to be in the Western agenda of media for news coverage, that they keep them and they didn't make any stories about them. And the percentage of the coverage of them is so slightly and so little. For example, in my master, I did about the news coverage of women and children during the last war in 2021. I have found it's like in BBC, they focus about the Israeli sources as main sources, and we speak about that narrative. So the Israeli officials, they all the statement it's become in the BBC. And today we're facing that problem that the Palestinians and women and children and the people, they not in that map of the media. They doesn't cover it. I think that it's very important now as all people who use the social media, because as you know the social media now can be changed. So we need, inshallah, can discuss about that, how as student, all people to use that social media to spread the news. And as sister said, we have platforms and that it's ready for the material, for videos, for stories, for pictures. And in the ground here in Gaza, really the pictures, it's so hard. Sometimes I didn't share some pictures, some images, some videos, because really it's so hard. And the second, the numbers of who now shaheed is like we speak about around 7,000 of civilians are shuhada, and could be now. Now we are speaking now. Could
The
be
number
we
is
have,
rising
yeah, the number
by
is
the second.
rising. In each half or in each 1 hour, we speak about 10 civilians were killed or were killed already. Really, the condition and the situation in the ground so hard. I hope all brothers and sisters to show and to see the media and like Al Jazeera, like our platforms, and many Palestinian journalists in Instagram, they use and they speak English to follow and to understand what is happening. Because this story doesn't start from 7th of October. It's start from Nakba, that Israel occupied our land from 70 years. So the media Western, they focus about that event, but they didn't focus why people they suffering, specifically in Gaza. They around 20 years they under as siege or prison. So it's like keep them under the table of the media, unfortunately. And the framing, as you know, uh, the journalist who cut some or focus about information and repeat that information again and again to audience, and doesn't focus to another side, because we speak about two sides, Palestinians and Israelis. So the Israeli, their narrative, it's high more than Palestinian in the Western media.
If I also may add some examples of how we have seen Western media streams being biased towards Palestinians and the Palestinian narrative is from the first days of the war on the 7th and 8th of October, we have seen the headlines saying that this and this number of Israelis have been killed, but this and this number of Palestinians died. So does the Palestinians just die?
Yeah.
No one committed a crime, no one killed them. Who did the action?
It's not normal.
You know, so it's as simple as that. And also they keep talking about the Israeli civilians and Israelis' right to defend themselves and all this nonsense. And as Mr. Yahya mentioned, Gaza has been the biggest open air prison in the world. 2.2 million Palestinians have been kept hostages by the Israelis for over 17 years. Who's talking about that in the media? And as people who have studied media and journalism and communication, we know that what are the first and basic principles of coverage?
Of objectivity.
Objectivity. Cover both sides.
Yeah.
You want to share the Israeli narrative? Fine by me. Share my narrative as well.
Because actually I've heard about the killed and the died words being played around by the Western media narratives. So actually, I want to know, like from your perspective as a worker, as an employee from the Friends of Palestine organization, did your organization do something to actually correct the narratives, or like what kind of initiatives that we done?
So our first initiative was actually to utilize our own social media platforms, especially on Instagram and TikTok, where we reshared original videos, footages, and we're updating the numbers directly from the health ministry in Gaza. So from the source itself. We also tried to do a few live sessions. We did a 10-hour live marathon where we actually hosted people from Gaza, even though it was very hard and they only could join for a few minutes because of the bad conditions of no internet, no electricity. So it's very hard to get them online and live. We also hosted a lot of Malaysian celebrities, Indonesian celebrities to join in the discussion and help us bring the awareness and truth to their followers. So because in Friends of Palestine, we focus and we give great importance to the media and the social media. We believe that is the first weapon that even the Israelis have been starting. So we try to reach out different parts of society, reach out to students where we give them courses. We teach them Palestinian history. If you want to understand what's happening, you need to have a right narrative of how the events went through. Actually can discuss, you can debate, and you can be more confident in yourself when you share and when you support Palestine. So students is one category we're focusing on. We've been focusing on media practitioners and journalists in Malaysia, where we have been giving them the right sources, trying to link them with authentic and reliable sources from Gaza and the West Bank. We also reached out to celebrities, influencers, people who have many followers on Instagram, where we actually gave them the right tools, the right knowledge, and the right words. When you speak about Palestine, you need to be very careful with the choice of your words. For example, you cannot say it's a conflict. It's not a conflict. That's the other word. It's not both sides. We have occupier and occupied. Both sides mean that they are equal. Literally. How are Palestinians in Gaza and the Israeli army equals now? They are not.
They are not.
You cannot use the word anti-Semitism. We are not anti-Semitic people. We are basically defending our rights. Basic rights that not only the Palestinians, many other nations have fought for that right and actually got it. So why Palestinians any different? So it's very important, the choice of your words. You don't use the word Palestinian-Israeli conflict, or like today media is using Israeli-Hamas conflict. No, it's not. Who are the Israelis killing in Gaza? More than 70% of the martyrs in Gaza are children and women.
Like, it's really unfair. And yet the narrative actually give equal treatments to both sides.
Sister,
and it's actually
she speak
unfair.
about now some word and vocab, how to use it. We speak this, it's a framing. To put this word in the frame and to speak it. So when they use another word, it's like conflict, it's like Hamas and Israel, they mention and to be that issue is in limitations.
That limits.
And خلاص, it's done. Mean that the problem with Hamas and Israel, so could be Israel now to destroy Hamas and done. The issue is the biggest. We speak about the Palestinian issue. We speak about the occupations. We speak about the hard measurements towards our people during about 70 years. So that words and that responsibility as we Ummah, because Palestinian issue is not for just Palestinian issue. We speak about the Masjid al-Aqsa. Now in this time, our people in Al-Quds, in Bayt al-Maqdis, they cannot enter to pray Salah, just who above 70 years. So this, it's hard for who living inside the Masjid al-Aqsa or in Al-Quds to cannot pray Asr or Maghrib or Isha or just limit for some people. So that responsibility we as all Muslims and students here, as we have Islamic perspective specifically, and to focus and to understand what is happening and to speak to people in your page in social media, in TikTok and Instagram. What you have any platform, please share and speak, and we have many sources. You can select from us. You can take some posts and you explain. It's just to make comments. Allahu Akbar. Okay, Allahu Akbar. But you speak. You explain to people by Malay language, by English. Some from our friends also can speak Arabic. Used all the languages and describe what is happening for our people in Gaza and in general in Palestine, because that issue it's for all Ummah. This land it's Islamic land, سبحان الذي أسرى بعبده ليلا من المسجد الحرام إلى المسجد الأقصى. Allah Azza wa Jal mentioned about this land in the Quran al-Kareem.
Yeah.
So this responsibility now for all the brothers and sisters to speak about Palestine, and inshallah could be in the ground to make classes, to make workshops, to speak in open and to discuss and with friends in university, in conference, and everywhere. Investment this time to speak about Palestine.
Yes. Adding to the other initiatives that Friends of Palestine have been initiating during the last 2 weeks or more, we have launched a donation campaign where we gather donations for Gaza, and Alhamdulillah, we also managed to implement already 3 projects inside Gaza.
Alhamdulillah.
So the first project is where we have distributed blankets and carpets to people, displaced Palestinians in one of the governmental schools. More than 4,000 Palestinians beneficiated from this project.
Yeah.
The second project was actually opening a centralized kitchen in one of the UNRWA schools in Gaza Strip, where they distribute one hot meal daily to almost 8,000 people. Displaced Palestinians. And the last one was actually the kitchen is still open until today, from the 19th of October until today. It cooks every day and distributes one meal, and that can only keep going, and the kitchen can stay open as long as the people is supporting and donating. And the third phase of the project was actually just distributing basic hygiene products because the situation is very, very bad. We also participated in many charades and marches in IIUM, in Nigara. 2 days ago, Friends of Palestine was in Exia Arena as well, where more than 16,000 Malaysians gathered alongside with very prominent and prestigious personalities from Malaysia and the Prime Minister.
The solidarity movement.
Yeah, the solidarity movement.
Okay.
As someone who's not Palestinian, I believe it was just seeing that amount of people raising the Palestinian flag and sharing their love and solidarity, and they are so far away. There is no geographical links, and chanting for Palestine and having all these emotions. I think it was amazing.
Yeah,
It was
that's
truly
actually
amazing.
very heartwarming.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons we love Malaysia.
Yeah.
Their endless support, and we hope you can continue supporting,
Yeah,
inshallah.
of course. Inshallah.
For the supporting, really, from this session, I would like also to say thank you for our people here in Malaysia who really support us. And we've seen how the people everywhere in the street, in the stadium, and the last 2 days, and the Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim, how to speak, how he speak about Palestine, about our rights, and that issue. It's really, and that movement, it give us energy to continue. To give us that, alhamdulillah, we have behind us who support us. And when people could be people now in Gaza cannot see the TV, but they believe how the Muslims around the world support our issue, our rights, and they believe now all the people around the world support them under that aggression.
Yeah. I actually cannot imagine how the Palestinians felt, because like recently the Israeli strikes the bomb to hospitals in Gaza. So like the conditions actually worsen, right? Like their health, their hygiene, and overall access to facilities.
So if I just may give, I think it's time to give like a brief update of what's happening in Gaza, and maybe you can share what's happening in the West Bank. So today is the 19th day of the Israeli aggression on Gaza Strip.
Hygiene and overall access to facilities.
So if I just may give, I think it's time to give like a brief update of what's happening in Gaza, and maybe you can share what's happening in the West Bank. So today is the 19th day of the Israeli aggression on Gaza Strip. So yesterday, the Gaza health care system has officially announced that it has collapsed, meaning they have nothing. Hospitals are shut down. There is no medication. There is no anesthesia to perform surgeries. If they are performing surgeries without anesthesia as we speak. There are 57 medical centers in Gaza that's been damaged and bombed. 73 medical staff who have been killed. 25 ambulances damaged. So we have 149 families that have lost more than 10 members. 149 families. We believe that the Israeli aggression has committed over 688 massacres since the beginning of war until today. 65% of the bombing have been on the northern side of Gaza, which the Israeli army claim to be a safe zone. 65% of the bombing. The latest update of the numbers of the martyrs and injured, we have 6,546 martyrs. The number is rising by the minute. 2,704 of them are children. 1,584 are women. 364 are elderly. We have above 70,000 injured. So who are the Israelis actually targeting? What's their bank target? Women and children. Yesterday, while watching Al Jazeera feed, live feed, the famous Wael al-Dahdouh is a reporter from Gaza Strip, Jazeera reporter. While he was live on stream, he got a call from someone that the home where his family was bombed.
I saw that clip.
Was bombed. He lost his wife, he lost his son Mahmoud and his daughter Sham. Why? They were displaced. They weren't in their home. They were displaced to a safe area.
مخيم النصيرات, yes, in the center of Gaza.
So this is a situation. Another victim was Shayma Akram.
Yeah.
Shayma Akram is a teenager who just graduated from high school, top on her class, 99.6%. She was speaking about her dreams and what she wants to study and what she wants to achieve. Why was she killed? So I think the situation is black and white. I think it doesn't need a lot of philosophy and analyzing. So that's actually the latest update I have from what's happening in Gaza. The numbers are changing by the minute as we speak. Very quickly.
Yeah.
So actually, we know that the organization itself actually launch helps to the Palestine. So how can you get access to that place? And in terms of generalizing, like writing news, could you actually get updates from inside that place as we
You
speak?
mean inside Gaza?
Yeah.
So it's as sister said, what is happening for brother Wael al-Dahdouh. Or now, if we need to speak how about the journalists have worked in the ground.
Yeah.
You know, we have around now 19 of journalists were shuhada.
Wow.
Yeah.
Even more.
And they wearing the
press vest.
The press and their cars. And Israel targeted them direct. It's not like direct because I want to explain how the operation is become. Unfortunately, the Israeli army, they target, for example, the house, and the journalists, they become going by their cars to cover what is happening. And Israeli army, they repeat the rocket and bombing the same area. And they know because Israel can see everything from the sky. The operation, they know and understanding what is happening in the ground, who walk.
Yeah.
So they target them. It's hard, but alhamdulillah, the Palestinian journalists, they going, and because they also believe that if we stop now, the people cannot hear what is happening for Palestinian in the ground. Of course, that it's emergency and so dangerous about who work in journalism now. We ask Allah Azza wa Jal to save them, inshallah, bismillah.
Yeah.
It's not easy, actually. And also they have families. they have children, they have wife. So it's not easy for journalists to now he speaking and give information and he live and immediately this the events and the target it's for his family. So it's so hard. But Alhamdulillah, yesterday brother Wael he was so strong because Israel they need destroyed us. So, but Alhamdulillah, I know it's so hard. So we cannot imagine that. But he believed that I am continue in this war.
Yeah.
Journalist work is what the Palestinian journalists and other journalists from inside Gaza are doing is they're literally risking their lives there. Every moment, every news they cover, every location they go, it's their life in risk. And also many citizens in Gaza, like influencers and people who have followers in Gaza, they are following the citizen journalism. So every citizen who has followers may have access even for a few minutes on his own social media, or he can get any internet coverage or maybe charge his phone. They are charging their phones on car batteries.
Yes.
Seriously.
Yes. And or if someone else has a battery, they will go to them and say, please, can you just charge it for half an hour?
Just to get that.
To get that little data, just to turn on his phone, just to share what he has and what he got. And they are using their own social media. They are using Telegram groups as well, because Telegram was the least social media with restrictions when it comes to the Palestinian content. So there they are sharing raw images and raw pictures and videos of the casualties, of the hospitals, of the neighborhoods and what's happening and what's going. And we usually go to these groups and to these sources when we share on our own platforms and when we encourage our celebrities and other friends to share on their platforms as well. Regarding your question about humanitarian work and so on, many NGOs here in Malaysia have launched campaigns gathering donations, and there is a certain procedure and way where such NGOs work and deliver the money or the goods or whatever to Gaza. And we are trying very hard. And alhamdulillah, we have been blessed that we have actually a volunteering team inside Gaza, Palestinians who are helping us in implementing these projects. And we hope that we can continue helping those people until this aggression stops. And you can, whenever you can enter our Instagram page, Friends of Palestine 1, to see the pictures we are sharing daily about the implementation of the projects. You can also see our campaign poster and so on.
So actually, technically many people, including Malaysians as well, are feeling helpless, like thinking that their post or their little help does not have any significance to the people in Palestine. So what are your views on that? Did you think that they have to correct their mind and continually posting on Instagram because that actually have significance on the people in Palestine?
Yeah, I think because they should day by day.
Day by day.
Or also hour by hour. For example, we have gap by time between Malaysia to Gaza around 6 hours. So when I want to sleep, I sleep at 8 morning. So per day, I could be sleep 3 hours or 4 hours just to take rest. And after that, I follow everything in my home. It's like my laptop, 2 phones, my screen. My wife also, her phones, her laptop. It's like operations. So means that we should all to make that issue in your life. It's not just moment. That is very, very important to live it, to feeling it. It's not just okay, I give donate, okay, khalas, done my role and my no. It's continuous for supporting by all the ways. What you can do, you do. by your knee and to feel your attention, to feel what
Yeah.
the people there in Gaza. It's very important. So I hope all people around the world and our Muslims and our brothers and sisters keep connection and continuous to see what is happening in the ground. Feel it. I don't need said hour by hour, but day by day. Update yourself. See what is happening.
Yeah.
Feel that conditions. It's your conditions. I hope that, inshallah, business. I believe the
Inshallah,
Malaysians,
yeah.
they are. Because, for example, my supervisor, she call me every day, Dr. Nobaidul. She texts me every day. So you feel how the people really,
Mm-mm.
here, alhamdulillah, in Malaysia, they are standing with you and they feel what you have
Yeah.
and they following everything. فإن could be that it's not recommendation, but this is أخوة, as in one blood and in one humanitarian. Inshallah, بإذن الله.
Yeah.
At Friends of Palestine, we believe that Malaysians can do three things to support the Palestinian cause. Number one is pray. Pray for Palestine. Every day, every moment, after every prayer, pray. Keep them in your du'as. Because we as Muslims, we believe in the power of du'a. And everyone can do that. And
Yes,
it
of
costs
course.
nothing. So that's number one. Number two, sharing. I'm quite aware that following up what's happening in Gaza can be very consuming and can be draining energy and make many of the viewers unstable mentally, maybe depressed, feeling very low, and so on. I'm aware of that. But imagine if you are there. I think you would feel much, much worse. I'm not saying that you need to watch each and every clip, every horrible picture and video that comes across. We know you're humans. We're all humans. We have our limits. You don't need to share the most horrible images. That's also not requested. And we are also not asking you to jeopardize your own social media accounts, because we know that Meta has been increasing their censorship over the Palestinian content in a way that has never been seen before.
Yes.
So share what you can. It's not the quantity, it's the quality. Share one post a day. Share one information a day. Talk to your friends. Word of mouth also works. Tell your children about Palestine. Tell your family members, your co-workers, lecturers, in the masjid, imam to the followers who come to the masjid, lecturers with their students. Give some time for Palestine. Keep it going. Media and social media is what makes public opinion.
Yeah.
It is what shapes people's public opinion. We know what media can do. It's a weapon. We need to use that weapon. So I can help, you can help, he can help. Each one of us, when he shares something, it will reach to someone new.
Yes.
Okay. So Alhamdulillah, here in Malaysia, in Indonesia as well, hashtags like Free Palestine and Israel Koyak and so on has been trending and very high for days since the war started. That's a good sign. And this is another kind of jihad.
Yes.
So never يعني لا تحقرن من المعروف شيئا. يعني any good deed, even if it's so small, it's still a good deed.
Yes.
So keep sharing. And why sharing is important also, for example, Al-Quds Agency. It's a Palestinian news agency that's covering news and what's happening in Gaza. And they had very big followers on Facebook, millions. It has been shut down.
Yes.
Their page has been closed maybe a week ago. Another Eye on Palestine is an Instagram page with over 6 million followers, has been shut down today.
Wow.
So they are fighting us. They don't want the voices of the Palestinian people in Gaza to be heard. So me and you will be their voice. So that's not little. That's absolutely not little. We are all ambassadors for Palestine and for the Palestinian cause, not only Gaza.
Yeah. So actually, in regards of posting contents about Palestinians, like me personally do think that it's very significant, because we know that the collective solidarity
Efforts,
of
yes.
people is what makes something effective.
True.
Like if you want to boycott a brand, for example, like the brand that supports the Israelis, so you can do that, and you can promote on that, so that many people could do that together.
Exactly.
Yeah,
The third way of supporting the Palestinian people in Gaza is to donate.
to donate.
They have nothing. Zero, nothing.
Yeah.
I think Mr. Yahya can share more on this, but there is certain rituals in Gaza when a war starts. So, for example, all family members gather in one room. They don't go around all the house. They're all gathered together.
It's like a
Women's,
class.
yeah,
A class, and classes in Gaza is not big. It's small. Could be half this room.
Oh.
And this include around, we speak 60 of members of this family. And
Yeah.
we speak that, as you know, the Palestinian families or Arab, we have three in the families. For example, my uncle, my brothers, my grandfather, and we stay, it's like together, could be in one building, but when they move,
yeah, the extended family usually stays together, whether it's in one building, but each has an apartment, so they're all together. So when the war happens, they will all gather in one house. So it will be overcrowded.
In one room in a school.
Mm.
So
And the women will also always be wearing their prayer clothes, because if something happens and they need to take them out, so they have their aura covered.
Wow.
Recently in this war, they are writing the names of their children.
Yeah,
in
I saw
them.
that clip.
Yes.
Actually, that's very sad.
Because why? There are over 900. There are over 600 babies unknown.
Because of the parts being cut.
Because they survived, but they don't know to which family they belong, or do they have alive members. So after that crisis started, each and every family started writing names on their children's hands, so they can be easily identified.
For some, they do exchange. For example, you take two from my family, from members, I take two. Because if la samah Allah, our family is attacked or bombing,
someone will survive from the family, so the name lives. Imagine to have to live in these thoughts, making these decisions of who should go and who should stay. Who deserves to live in that fear and in that trauma? I mean, even if the Palestinians, if the war stops today, and the ones who are alive stay alive, what kind of life would they be living after everything they have seen?
Exactly.
But we need to speak also after the war.
Yeah.
Or the negotiations. The suffering could be, I want to say, it's the start. It's not done. No, it's a start, because we speak about thousands of families who destroyed their homes. They also miss their families or their parents. That stories is really hard stories, and also could be the high rule for us to support these people, because now really Gaza is destroyed. I believe you've seen how the pictures, how the videos. These buildings, it's not just buildings. In this building, there are some dreams. There are some people who have stories in this life, who have dream, who have achieved something in this life. So it's not just that life done and khalas. No, this person could be active person in his life. So in everything khalas, it's number. No, they are. It's not number.
What is the difference between 2,999 and 3,000?
It's like just one year apart.
One number.
Yeah.
In Palestine, it's one life. We keep talking about numbers, and we keep updating, and sometimes we just forget to mention these are lives, dreams, hopes. Young men who were engaged, girls who've been engaged and never got married, fathers who lost sons, mother who lost daughters, wives who lost husbands who lost their wives, children who, if they lived, how much would they have given back to their societies? How many doctors did they kill? How many lawyers? How many pilots? How many teachers? That's what they have taken. It's not just a figure.
Yeah, because we sometimes forget. Because we live here comfortably and we did not live there. So we didn't actually feel what they feel.
It's behind all this. It's like mountain.
This is the tip of the iceberg.
Yes.
Yeah, very.
Yeah, it's the tip of the iceberg.
So I think before we wrap up our session, I could ask you, both of you, one last question. So what do you sincerely hope for Malaysians as well as for the society out there to do for the Palestinians?
I want to remind them that Palestine is not a trend.
Yeah.
We are today in day 19 of the war. It's quite long. We personally don't see it will end anytime soon. We don't have that hopes. Nothing is giving that hope, basically. And people who are outside usually tend to get bored and get used to seeing these images or hearing, or so what, they have been dying already for 19 days. They will keep dying. People get bored.
Yeah.
We should not allow ourselves to get bored.
Yes.
They are not numbers and they are not a trend. We don't urge you to speak about Palestine because there is war. Palestine has been in war for 75 years. Every day Palestinians die. I mean, in the West Bank, Palestinians are being shot by the settlers who the Israeli army had distributed weapons to for self-defense. More than, I think, 50 now, or even more.
We have around shuhada in just 1 week, 100.
Wow.
In the West Bank, and the media is not covering that.
Yeah.
For example,
actually, I didn't know
they are not. So even in the West Bank, the situation is very much escalated, and Palestinians are dying. Every day, Palestinians die on
because
checkpoints.
The occupation, they control everything inside cities.
Yeah.
So could be at night, the Israeli army, they enter your home, they make anything. So that condition there could be in West Bank hard, so hard also, because you under really that occupation control.
Yeah.
And the media and sister said they didn't mention about what is happening there. So what the Israel now doing for these families. So we speak about one nation, is Palestinian nation now. They facing the suffering from Israel occupations.
So I will sum up my point. Palestine is not a trend. Always keep talking about Palestine. Every day remind yourself that you need to share at least one thing with your friends or in social media about Palestine. Always remember that they are not numbers, they are people, they are brothers and sisters and children whose lives have been taken away from them. And get knowledge. Learn about Palestine, read about Palestine, of course, from reliable sources, not from whatever you see. You need to be very careful about that. And try to translate your content. The content that you see, the information, try to translate it to your own language, to Malay, to Tamil, to Hindu, to Mandarin. Try to reach to a larger audience to get, because once they heard about it, they will be supportive. They will show their solidarity. During a Nakba, we had an exhibition. Friends of Palestine had an exhibition in to highlight a Nakba and what has happened during 1948 in Palestine and so on. And we had Indian and Chinese students approaching and saying, I have never heard about Palestine before. This is the first time I hear the word Palestine. And we are living in a mass media world, in a social media world, and there are still people who haven't heard. So this is our responsibility, not anybody's else. Speak up about Palestine. Be an ambassador for Palestine and be the voice of the voiceless.
Yeah. How about you, brother Ayaya?
For me, in specifically, sister, she said and speak about overall formation. Could be my message to our brothers and sisters inside UAE.
Yeah.
I hope they can do it like club and establish under Palestine, and I believe that our organization and Palestinian organization, they can support them to be that voice inside IIUM, and they make the events. It's like every month, every week, and believe all Palestinians here, we will, of course, participate in this club, and to make also it's like program who can be as ambassadors of Palestine here in Malaysia to speak for people. It's not just inside UIA, in all the universities. I think that it's very in this club, and to make also it's like program who can be as ambassadors of Palestine here in Malaysia to speak for people. It's not just inside UIA, in all the universities. I think that it's very important, and it's like we can do it early, could be tomorrow, could be next week. And I believe that our administration here in UIA allowed that to improve ourselves toward Palestine issue. And also, just I need mention about today we have, Alhamdulillah, we did meeting with Queen Tikno Hajja Aziza Amina. She has meeting a Palestinian student who studying in UIA, and at morning we discussed with her many issues, and she sent to us the salam and the message from the Queen Sultan Abdullah, and really we are appreciating that message and that rule the Queen to stay and to listen for all students, and she promised us to inshallah Malaysia going to save that our rights, and they will do. And I think now Malaysia they doing that actions in the ground, and as we see the Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim, he make around the world and speak with many Arab leaders, Islamic leaders. So we appreciate that. As I mentioned about the Palestinian Club, I think this idea we can implement it early for in these conditions to make like campaign of awareness about Palestine. And inshallah, we are ready to sharing everything with sister and brother, inshallah.
If I may just add one last thing. Throughout the 1 hour discussion, I think I missed to mention something very important. When you speak about what's happening in Gaza, it's not a war, it's an attack, it's an aggression, it's genocide, and it is an ethnic cleansing.
Yeah.
So these are the words we need to be using. These are the words we need to be highlighting all over the place. It's genocide. Israel is committing genocide and ethnic cleansing against the Palestinian people on their own land. Thank you.
Yeah.
So I want to say a big thank you to Sister Rauda as well as Brother Ali Yahya for the very beneficial sharing session today. So I just wanted to summarize to the listeners out there. You always make sure that you pray for your brothers and sisters in Palestine. And for the second one, make sure that you share contents related to Palestinian updates. And then third one, make sure that you give donations to them.
Yes.
Okay, so personally for me, it has been like a really heart-wrenching and remarkable sharing. Okay, so
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Sister.
I just wanted to say thank you to both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So to the listeners out there, please make sure that you guys always know what kind of information that you are sharing. Okay, so
And I
yeah,
hope this program and like this session is to continue.
Yeah.
And this place, we need investment.
Yes.
This place
We
to
should have-
share that knowledge about Palestine. It's not like just for events or what is now happening of aggression toward Gaza. So this place, I think it's a great place because all the students listen to IIUM radio. So I hope in the schedule of programming, we have some program to speak about Palestine. Inshallah. Bismillah.
okay. So I hope also that the initiative will be proceeded actually in the future. So stay tuned for more of our future programs, as well as sharing sessions from remarkable guests such as Brother Yahya and Sister Oda. So I hope that listeners out there will always stay tuned to IIUMFM to get more updates regarding what's going on in the university, also to the world out there. Okay, so this has been Siti Sarah, Sister Auda, and Brother Yahya. So